What's up, guys? Hope you're staying safe. Hope you're keeping your face masks on, keeping your hands washed. I've washed my hands more times than I can count over the last 2 weeks. So, also be sure to, wear your booties in the house, keep your distance from people. I know you've heard all of this, but are you taking it serious? Are you taking it extremely serious? Because you need to, because people are getting sick, and we need to make sure that this stops, and we're not keep spreading stuff everywhere. So, a local lady, with everything that's going on, there's opportunity in everything, and here's one of the opportunities right here. Masks, as you know, if you're a business owner or you work for somebody, it doesn't matter. Like, you cannot find masks anywhere. So there's a local lady who makes these, and she actually made a whole bunch for one of the hospitals out in western Kansas and sent them. So I think that is just so cool, and I love seeing that, and I love hearing stories like that. So I thought I'd share that with you guys. So that's a great opportunity, right? I mean, if I had a sewing machine and I knew how to sew, I'd be making the crap out of those things and selling them. She's selling them for $4 a piece. I think she could sell them for more. I'd probably do 4 or 5. I don't know about you guys, but anyhow, you can't get them because everybody's donating them to the hospitals because the hospitals need them. So it's starting to get close to home. I can tell you that. I've heard that there's a teacher in a local middle school here that was positive, tested positive for COVID-19, and there was also one of my guys who was just in the hospital because they just had a baby. One of the nurses that they dealt with before the baby even came was being tested, had some symptoms and was being tested. So I haven't heard on that whether whether she's going to wind up testing positive or not. But if it is, well, they were they were dealing with her. So it's not going to be long before, if it hasn't already reached home yet, for you, before long, that's going to happen. I'm certain of it. Here in the next couple of weeks, it's going to spike, drastically. And from what I hear, the tests are coming out, and with the more testing, there's going to be a lot more people testing. So when that happens, we're going to see a dramatic spike in it. And some of the good news I've seen on social media is that the recovery rate, is very, very high. So that's great. I think there's a couple of medicines that are working now, it sounds like, and this is just from little snippets that I've read and on social media, because like I said before, I don't watch the news, definitely not on a regular basis, and I've kept up more with what's happening now more than I have any news whatsoever in the last probably 10, 15 years. So, and that's the main thing, though, that I'll share with you on that is, get in there, learn what you need to learn really quickly, and get out. Don't just leave the TV going. Don't just keep reading and reading and reading. Just learn what you need to learn and get out. Maybe a little bit every day. Just moderation, in moderation. Don't, because what can happen is fear, anxiety, worry, stress all elevates, and when that elevates in your body, like, you're more susceptible, you're more likely to get ill, even of just a common cold or just a regular flu. Like, you're much more likely because your immune system is suppressed. So you got to stay positive, and if you're in there and it's scaring you, that's suppressing your immune system. You're going to be more susceptible to get sick. So if you are off, or you've been laid off, or whatever the case, I hope that you are, find something creative to do. Like, let your creativity fly, because Little things like that mask, like there's opportunities. How can you serve humanity? Like, ask yourself that question. I've been asking myself that question. Like I said, I wish I knew how to sew, because I would be banging those things out every day, and selling them, and helping people. So if there's a way that you could deliver something to somebody who doesn't want to leave the house or is too scared to leave the house, do that. As long as you take precautions with this, it sounds like it sounds like it spreads pretty easily, but take precautions and you're far less likely to get it. So, guys, I've been in such, I understand, how important, when it comes to leadership, how important making decisions is. I totally get that, but with all the uncertainty, it's been really difficult to know what the right decision is. Now, I know there's companies all around that are just crushing it when it comes to the HVAC industry, because we are essential, which is awesome. But it's also scary at the same time, because we don't want to put anybody at risk, and we don't want, we're not trying to get anybody sick, but we also, for emergencies, for instance, like today, it was 27 degrees this morning. It might have been colder first thing this morning, but I had to run to town to replace a phone, and thankfully the phone store was open, and got that done. But 27 degrees, so we've had some no heat calls today, and people need heat. No matter what, they need heat, so we just have to take our precautions and go serve the customer. Next week, you know how crazy the weather is this time of year. Next week, we got some 80-degree days. I know people are going to be without cooling, and houses will get miserable if they don't have cooling. So we're going to have work. Just take every single precaution that you can. We've got a couple of furnaces to replace next week too. So some people that are without, and it's not a good time being this cold, being without heat. So business is still continuing. I think these loan programs are really, I don't see a lot of downside to the EIDL, which is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. If you're a very small business, like a one-man show, you'll want to apply for that. It's very easy to apply. And the PPP loan, there's really not a downside to that loan as well, as long as you use those funds for your payroll and utilities. That's the main things, and then your lease or mortgage interest. And the initial paperwork said that you could use it for employment, not employment, but for your health care, whatever the company pays towards insurance, health insurance for employees. You can use it towards that. From the first initial paperwork. I don't know if they've changed that since then, but a lot of things have changed just today, since they started accepting these applications. So, the last numbers I heard was and I'm sure this number's, going to go up, because the longer we cannot operate normally, as far as other businesses, and even us, we're not operating full blast. So, the business losses was 1.2 trillion, and this bill was 349 billion. Well, that's not going to cover the losses. There's going to be a lot of people that cannot survive this and will go out of business. So I feel for those people, and I can't imagine nobody would have guessed it had been something like this, that would have taken their business out. So it's really that's the uncertainty of business. That's the uncertainty that we deal with all the time. You just never know what's going to happen. So we don't have a huge cash reserve, but the loan, it's as long as you use it for the things that's specified, it's supposedly supposed to be forgiven. If it's not forgiven, it's at an extremely low interest rate. Last I heard yesterday was 0.5%, which is extremely, it's like free money. And if you can use it to keep everybody on your payroll and keep from having to lose anybody, then I think it's worth it. So it's not going to hurt to apply for it. But I think the funds are going to be gone extremely quick. So whether we get it or not, who knows? So Guys, I hope you're staying safe. Like I said, keep your distance. Do everything they're telling you to do, just to take the precautions. Like I said, it sounds like it's a good recovery rate, but just take precautions. We don't want anybody getting sick, and I certainly don't want to lose, any of our fellow HVAC industry members, because you guys are one of a kind. You guys are. This is, it's service at the highest level right now. For all you guys out there working, service at the highest level. I can't thank you guys enough. You guys are the backbone of this country. You are what makes this country tick. And I hope that people are starting to realize that, and give us a little more respect for what we do, because we deserve it. So, and you guys out there on the front lines doing the service and doing installs, the emergency installs, whatever, like you're the men and women who keep this country running, and it's not just during these type of times, it's all the time. So love you guys, hope you're staying safe, I hope you're well. Reach out to me if you want to have a conversation about anything. I'm always here. Just email me at HVACmillionaire@gmail.com. Love you guys, stay safe, and go make money. Can't wait for this shit to be over. I know you guys are with me on that one. Just can't wait.